Hey everyone, what's going on? I'm Jake from Jake M Media, and right now I'm walking around downtown Bay City, just enjoying the city. But in today's video, we're going to be talking about how to 10x your Zoom H1N audio with these tips. Let's get into it. Alright guys, right before we jump into this video, if you do want to check out the Zoom H1N, there are affiliate links down in the description below. With that said, let's get into these tips. Alright, so tip number one is that you shouldn't use the auto level function. And that's because this function takes away all of your control over the gain dial and gives it to the Zoom H1N. And because that's the case, the Zoom H1N is going to raise those audio levels super high and make your audio peak in a lot of areas. And it does this because it's trying to overcompensate for all those quiet moments in your audio. Also, if you're wondering where the auto level function is, it's this button right here on the end. Fourth one over, so don't touch that one. Hey guys, so real quick, I wanted to jump in here and show you guys what the auto level function actually sounds like on the Zoom H1N. I know the conditions are pretty bad for this video quality right here. The lighting's pretty terrible. I got a dog barking in the background, but with that all aside, this is still really important, so I wanted to show you guys this. Right now I don't have the auto level function turned on the Zoom H1N, but we'll turn it on right here in this next clip. Alright, so now we have the auto level function turned on the Zoom H1N, and we're testing it out in my basement just to see what it sounds like and show you guys what it sounds like. So, what do you think? Alright, that's it for tip one. Now let's jump into the next tip. Alright, so here's the second tip. Use the low cut filter in certain situations. If you ever come across any low frequency situations in your audio, such as thunder, a tuba, the ooh, and the word poo, this is going to cut them out. So now instead of having all those low noises interrupting your recording, you'll instead have some clean, crisp audio. Now if you're looking for the low cut filter on your Zoom H1N, it's going to be right here, the second button over. It says right there, low cut. And you can set it to 3 different settings. 80 Hertz, which is going to be the highest low frequency. 120 Hertz, which is a lower frequency than 80 Hertz. And then you have 160 Hertz, which is even lower than 120. Alright, that's it for tip number 2. Now let's get into the third tip. So tip number 3, only use the limiter when you absolutely have to. Now the limiter is designed to keep your audio from peaking, and that all sounds great. However, if your audio does get really close to peaking, the limiter is going to distort and muffle that audio. So like I said, only use this function when you absolutely have to. Alright guys, so here's the next tip. Always monitor your audio using headphones. On the Zoom H1N, it has a line out port on the side which allows you to plug in headphones. This is going to let you listen to your audio and monitor it. And you should be doing this because it helps you know whether or not your audio is peaking. And if you notice that it is peaking, you can quickly make an adjustment to the gain and fix the problem. So whenever you can, plug some headphones into the Zoom H1N and monitor your audio. Alright, that's it for tip number 4. I'm going to try and use a new transition, so bear with me on this one. I think that worked pretty well, but we'll see when I go to edit this video. Alright, anyways, let's move on to tip number 5, record test audio. Whenever you use the Zoom H1N, it's always a great idea to record test audio. Playing it back helps you know whether your audio is too close to peaking or too quiet. And you could also listen for issues with the limiter, auto level, or low cut filter if you do plan on using them. So that's why whenever I use the Zoom H1N, I always record test audio. Alright, now for tip number 6, set your gain peaking to -12 to -15 decibels. This is a great place to be because it gives you some leeway when it comes to editing your audio. Because if your gain is set too low when you're recording your audio, when you go to edit that audio in post-production, if you try and raise the gain, you're going to introduce a lot of audio noise or grain into that audio clip. And if your gain is too high when you're recording, if you try and bring your gain down in post-production, you're going to notice that you lose some detail in the voice and your voice will be muffled as well. So whenever you're recording audio with the Zoom H1N, always set your gain to between -15 and -12 decibels. Alright, let's head back to my car. It's getting a little noisy out here. Alright, now for tip number 6, point the mic directly at what you're recording. Doing this will get the most out of the Zoom H1N, and you'll also capture the best quality audio from your subject. If you don't point it directly at your subject, then you could be missing out on a lot of detail and volume within your voice or noise. Now, tip number 7, use the dead cat or windscreen. Whenever you record inside or outside, you should always use some form of windscreen. When you're outside, it's just common sense because of the wind. But even when you're inside, if you're really close to the microphone, then the microphone might have a tough time picking up the P's and B's within your audio. Moving on, we have tip number 9, use the Zoom H1N as a preamp by running other microphones through it. If you're looking for a slightly more professional setup, then try using the Zoom H1N as a preamp, because the preamp on the Zoom H1N is great considering the price. For instance, if you plug something like a shotgun microphone into the Zoom H1N, then you'll be getting some great audio quality. And if you're wondering what that setup sounds like, here's a quick example. Hey there again, so I'm just here to show you guys what the audio quality sounds like when you plug something like a shotgun microphone into the Zoom H1N and use it as a preamp. So the setup I'm running for this little clip right here is a shotgun microphone called the Boya BY-MM1, and it's being run into the Zoom H1N, like I just said, through the line in port on the side right here. So what do you guys think of this audio quality? There might not be a huge difference, but it's definitely noticeable in my opinion. And that leads me to the final tip on the list: use the best possible recording format in your situation. If you're in a situation similar to mine, then you're probably going to want to use something like 24-bit at 48 kilohertz. But if you want slightly higher quality audio that captures more detail, then you could bump it up to 24-bit at 96 kilohertz. Normally though, 24-bit at 48 kilohertz is perfectly fine. And those are all the tips I have on how to 10x your Zoom H1N audio. Anyways, if you guys want to check out the Zoom H1N, I'm going to link it in the description down below. Also, if you guys want to see more videos just like this one, subscribe by clicking right here. Thanks for watching, and always remember to capture great moments.